Tina and I'm back, and I hope you guys are all doing great and enjoying the warmer summer weather. Well, technically that's only if you live in the northern hemisphere, because in the southern hemisphere, aren't they in winter now? Here's the thing, okay? If it's summer where you are, hopefully you're enjoying the weather, because summer is my favorite time of the year. I absolutely love the warm weather. And it is the perfect time for this video, which is showcasing a well-loved summer product. That is bronzer. Whoo, yes! And I've fallen in love with bronzer over the last couple of years. Before, I wasn't really wearing bronzers. But let's be honest, there weren't many options available on the market for my complexion, much less deeper than me. So I wasn't really into the bronzer game, okay? Most brands had like 1 or maybe 2 shades available, if you're lucky. But usually it was just one universal shade. Universal for who? Oh, yeah, I get it. Yep, absolutely. So I have really just gotten into the bronzer game in the last couple of years, and I've fallen head first, toes deep. I'm loving it, okay? Toes deep, does that make sense? Not really, but I've really fallen in love with bronzer. And on top of that, there are a ton of releases for cream bronzers. Again, these weren't really available on the market before, but now, and I'm sure you guys have noticed, that the market has been flooded with cream bronzers, from luxury brands to mid-end brands, high-end brands, all the way down to drugstore. Everything in between. There are just cream bronzers galore. You have a plethora to choose from. And in this video, I'm gonna try to help you navigate the world of cream bronzers, because I have 11 different formulations to share with you guys. I'm gonna show you swatches because I have multiple shades from different ranges. So you're gonna see tons of swatches. I'm going to do a little bit of shade comparison and description so I can break it down which ones have cooler undertones, warmer undertones, and you'll see the different depths swatched out on my specific skin tone. Now I'm only going to do the swatches on my arm, but we'll move into swatches on my face as I do bronzer specific videos. But for this specific video, you're just gonna be seeing swatches on my arm, which can still give you a frame of reference for the depth and the undertones of these shades. So I'm gonna get into it right now. This is gonna be a long video. I'm going to leave timestamps down below so you can navigate this video, and you can even follow along the little timeline on YouTube. Did you know that? You can see what each section of the video is about. Yes, they do that now. So definitely click below if you want to navigate this video. But like I said, we're going to go through the swatches. So I'm gonna swatch all 12 options that I have available and the various shades that I have from each of the different formulations. And then we're going to jump into a little bit of a ranking fest. So first, I'm going to rank these bronzers based on price per ounce. So which one is gonna give you the best value for money, the most bang for your buck? We're going to rank them by the least expensive to the most expensive per ounce of product. And I feel like with bronzers, honestly, you tend to want to have a pretty sizable amount because you can go through them pretty quickly, especially with cream bronzers, because you're applying them all over your face and you'll probably bring it down your neck, so you're gonna go through the product pretty quickly. So you do want to have a pretty decent amount available, but they're also cream bronzers, so they're gonna dry out a little bit more quickly and go bad a little faster than a powder bronzer. So you kind of have to balance between how much product you get and the value for your money, the bang for your buck, versus how quickly you're gonna go through the product. But we're gonna go through that first, and then I'm going to rank these by my personal ranking of the best to the worst of them all. So we're gonna rank these based on my preferences. Now remember, I have oily skin, I prefer a matte finish, I do prefer like a warmer bronzer because that's what bronzer is supposed to do. It's supposed to give you a bronze sun-kissed look, not necessarily giving you a contoured or sculpted look. So I'm going to rank them based on my preferences, from which ones I think are the absolute best of the best, right down to the one that is my least favorite. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and jump into it. And like I said, we're gonna start out with the swatches. So we're gonna start out with the NARS Sun-Kissed Bronzing Cream. This is described as a velvety cream to powder bronzing hybrid with a soft matte finish. It also says it blurs, minimizes the appearance of pores, and evens out complexion, and it is scented with NARS's signature French Polynesian Manoi de Tahiti oil. This retails for $38, has a net weight of 19 grams or 0.67 ounce, and it's available in 2 shades, and I have both shades. So the first shade up is Laguna. This is the lighter of the 2 shades. It is described as a light medium brown, and I would agree that that's what it is. It's a lighter brown shade, and it leans a little bit more on the neutral to cool tone side. Then we have the deeper shade, which is Casino. This is described as a medium brown, and that is also true. I would consider this a medium deep brown, and it also has more of a neutral undertone. The next one up is from Chanel. This is the BEIGES Healthy Glow Bronzing Cream, and this is described as a lightweight cream gel face bronzer with a delicate velvet matte finish, and it has mineral waxes and powders to ensure effortless application, and silica and soft focus powders to deliver immediate smoothing effect. It also has light reflecting pigments that create a naturally looking radiance. This retails for $50. It has a net weight of 30 grams or 1 ounce, and there are 2 shades available. We have 390 Soleil Tan Bronze Universal. This has long been Chanel's only shade that was available, and it matches my skin tone almost exactly. It is a tan shade with a warmer undertone. Then we have the deeper shade that was recently released. This is 395 Soleil Tan Deep Bronze, and this is a beautiful medium deep brown with warmer caramelly undertones, and you can see the difference between this shade and the NARS shade, that the NARS shade is a lot more neutral while this is a lot more warm. Then we have the ColourPop Soul Body Face and Body Bronzing Balm, and this is a cream to balm bronzer with a velvety matte natural skin tone finish that will give a sun-kissed and soft focused look to the skin. It retails for $15 with a net weight of 31 grams or 1.1 ounce, and it is available in 7 shades. And I have 2 of these shades. The first shade up is Dark, which is a medium deep brown with strong caramelly warm golden undertones. And as you can see now, compared to the Chanel bronzer and the NARS bronzer, you can see that this is definitely more of a warm tone bronzer that is going to give your skin a sun-kissed finish rather than a bronzer look. And then I have the next level up, which is the shade Deep. This one is a beautiful deeper bronzy brown. This one is more on the warm tone red side versus Dark, which is more of a caramel undertone. Next up is the Saie Sun Melt Natural Cream Bronzer. This is described as a lightweight creamy balm bronzer with a natural velvet finish. It says it's easy to apply for a seamless buildable color, and it's never cakey or patchy, and there are moisturizing ingredients included such as organic colloidal oatmeal, as well as silica, grapeseed oil, and elderberry extract to nourish and visibly balance skin. It retails for $28, net weight of 30 grams or 1 ounce, and there are 4 shades available. I have 2 of the shades. So the first shade up is Medium Bronze, which is recommended for light medium to tan skin tone with warm undertones. And this shade is almost an exact match for my skin tone. It's a little bit more on the warm side, so a little bit more golden, not red or neutral. And you can see the difference between this shade and the original Bronze Universal from Chanel. Chanel is a little bit more on the neutral side. This one is definitely warm. Then we have the Deep Bronze shade, which is recommended for deep skin tones with warmer undertones. This shade is a deeper brown bronze with some warmer to red undertones, and the formula is a little bit stiffer and a little bit more tacky, so it doesn't blend out as seamlessly as the other ones that we've swatched so far. Next up we have the Fenty Beauty Cheeks Out Freestyle Cream Bronzer. It is described as a sheer to buildable formula with a natural looking bronze finish. It is also said to be light as air, sweat and water resistant, and it retails for $32 with a net weight of 6.23 grams or 0.22 ounce, and it is available in a range of 7 shades. The shade that I have is 05 Teddy, which is recommended for tan skin tones. And this shade is a beautiful golden bronze. It has more of a sheen to the finish. It's not a natural matte at all. It has a little bit of shimmer and shine to it when you apply this to the skin. Then next up we have the Milk Makeup Matte Cream Bronzer Stick. So this is described as a vegan cream formula that has a hydrating mix of mango butter, coconut oil and avocado oil to create a matte finish that looks natural and blends seamlessly. It retails for $30 for the full size, which is 30 grams or 1 ounce, and is available in 2 shades. There is also a mini size that retails for $18, and that has a net weight of 6.7 grams or 0.24 ounces. So the lighter shade is Baked, and this is described as a bronze. This one is almost exactly my skin tone, but it has a little bit more of a neutral to beigey undertone that reads a little bit gray and a little bit pink. And then the deeper shade is Blaze. This is described as a deep bronze. This one is a medium deep brown with strong warm undertones. It has a lot of caramelly warm undertones to it, but it also has a slight red tint. Then next up we have from Danessa Myricks Beauty the Power Bronzer, which is a matte bronzing and shaping cream. This is a cream formula that melts into the skin and sets like a powder for natural looking sculpting. There are 3 shades available. It retails for $26 with a net weight of 14 grams or 0.49 ounce. The shade I have is Deep, which is recommended for dark to deep skin tones. And of course, this is a really rich tone on my skin tone. It's a deep espresso brown. It is a warmer undertone. It leans a little bit more on the neutral side. It definitely doesn't have any strong red undertones to it. Then next up we have the Danessa Myricks Beauty Balm Contour. So these are contour shades, not necessarily intended to be bronzers, but they also translate on the skin as a bronzer. So this one is infused with hyaluronic acid, vitamin C, flower extract, and meadow foam seed oil to hydrate and nourish the skin. It also says it reduces the appearance of fine lines and pores and provides a smooth, flawless finish for a natural look on the skin. These retail for $26 and have a net weight of 10 grams or 0.35 ounces and is available in 8 shades. I have 3 of the shades. First up we have the shade Medium 2, which is intended for medium to medium tan complexions. This shade is a medium deep brown and it has strong golden and neutral undertones. So it's a little bit more on the warm side rather than the red side, and it definitely has more of that neutral lean-in undertone that you would use for a contour. Then we have shade Medium 3, which is intended for medium tan to tan complexion. So this one is similar to Medium 2. It's a medium brown, but instead of having a golden neutral undertone, this leans strongly neutral. So if you're looking for a contour shade, this would be the way to go. It definitely has more of a gray to neutral undertone to it. And then the third shade that I have is Deep 1, which is intended for tan to rich complexions. This one is a deeper brown and it has more of a beigey to neutral lean-in cool undertone. It has a hint of like a pinky red base to it with that slight neutral undertone. Again, that would work great for a contour shade. Alright, next up we have the Kaja cream bronzers, and these are from the Play Bento cream bronzer, powder, blush, and highlighter sculpting trios. These are pocket-sized stacks of blush, highlighter, and bronzers that have a cream to powder finish, and they're infused with mango seed butter to help the formula blend seamlessly while still moisturizing the skin. These retail for $25 a piece with a net weight of 3.5 grams or 0.12 ounce specifically for the bronzer shade, and it is available in 3 color options. The first trio up is Cloud Latte, which has lavish latte inspired hues, and the bronzer shade is more Macchiato, which is described as a warm espresso. This shade is very close to my skin tone with a slight neutral tone to it, which can be used for contour, but it almost matches my skin tone exactly. Then we have the shade Mocha. This is the deepest of the 3 options, and the bronzer shade is Hot Chocolate, which is described as a deep syrupy brown, and I think it is a deeper, more espresso brown. It leans a little bit more on the cool to neutral side. Again, it has more beigey gray undertones to it. Then next up we have the Patrick Ta Major Sculpt Cream Contour and Powder Bronzer Duos. And these have a powder bronzer as well as a cream bronzer in a luminous cream finish. It retails for $38 with a net weight of 6.8 grams or 0.24 ounces. That is for the cream bronzer, and it is available in 3 color options. The first one up is She Sculpted, which is intended for medium skin tones. And this shade is a lighter tan shade. Again, it almost matches my skin tone exactly, but it has a stronger neutral undertone, and it has a stronger neutral gray leaning undertone than the Kaja trios. As you can see, that lighter shade is a little bit more beige. This one is a little bit more on the neutral gray side. Then we have She's Chiseled, which is recommended for dark skin tones, and this one is the deepest of the 3 options. It is a chocolatey espresso brown, and it has a more neutral undertone. It looks almost spot on to the Kaja option actually. They look almost identical. It's just slightly lighter if I had to really push for a difference. And now we're gonna finish up with the drugstore option. So this is from e.l.f. Cosmetics. It is their Putty Bronzer, and it is described as a creamy putty to powder bronzer that blends and blurs into the skin with a smooth semi-matte finish. This retails for $6, has a net weight of 10 grams or 0.35 ounces, and is available in 8 shades. I picked up the 4 deepest shades. So first up we have Golden Days. This one is actually more on the neutral beige side rather than like a golden caramel. It has a little bit more of a pinky beige hue to it. Then we have Bronzed Belle. This one is more of a medium deep brown, and it has more toffee, more caramelly undertones. It's a little bit more on the warm side, but it also has a neutral cast to it. And then we have the shade Sunkissed, which is a deeper, more chocolatey brown, but it has a cooler undertone to it, almost on the pinky beige side. It isn't red or anything, but it definitely isn't a warm tone shade. And then the last shade up is Beach Please, which is a deep chocolatey, almost purpley brown. It has a more mauvey undertone to it, a strong gray cast. It definitely isn't a warmer shade. It doesn't have any caramel to it. It is more on the purpley side. There is one shade deeper than this one, which is Cabana Cutie. So I love that e.l.f. has a much richer shade than the deepest one that I picked up. seen the swatches, let's get into the ranking. So again, I'm starting off by ranking these by price per ounce. So let's get into that. So we actually have 11 bronzers to get through, but since I have 2 sizes of the Milk bronzer, I decided to just expand it and make it an even number. So we're going to go from the most expensive to the least expensive, and I want you guys to make a guess as to which one will end up being number 1, the most expensive, and which one will end up being the least expensive in number 12. And if I had to guess, just not knowing what I know, because I already know which one is the most expensive, I would think Chanel would be close to number 1, and then the e.l.f. and maybe ColourPop would be on the lower end of the price range. But we're gonna get into it, and I'm going to probably surprise you guys. So I'll start out with number 12, and believe it or not, it's not going to be the e.l.f. Putty Bronzer. So this retails for $6, but it is not the least expensive per ounce. It is actually the ColourPop Soul Body Face and Body Bronzing Balm. This retails for $15, but it contains 1.1 ounce of product, and that makes it $13.64 per ounce. So it is actually the least expensive of all 12. Then we have the e.l.f. Putty Bronzer, which again retails for $6, but it only contains 0.35 ounce. So that is almost a third of an ounce. So that makes it $17.14 per ounce. Moving on, let's grab Chanel out of the way. So now we're moving on to number 10. That is actually going to be the Saie Sun Melt Natural Cream Bronzer. That retails for $28 for an ounce of product. So that is making it one of the cheaper ones in the lineup. And then, believe it or not, we have the Milk Makeup Matte Cream Bronzer Stick. This is in the large size, so this is the full size, and that retails for $30 for 1 ounce of product. So it's not a bad price point when you consider how much product you're getting. Now number 8 is going to probably surprise you. It didn't surprise me as much because I knew how much product you got for the price point. So we have the Chanel bronzer, 1 ounce for $50. So putting this against all the other cream bronzers in my collection, you actually get a good deal here for $50 for an ounce of this product. Then coming in strong is our good sis Danessa Myricks. This is her power bronzer. This is the matte bronzing and shaping cream from her lineup. And this guy retails for $26, but it only contains 0.49 ounce of product, which means per ounce it's $53.06. Then we have another surprising one. I thought this would be further up the list, but this is the NARS Sun-Kissed Bronzing Cream. So this retails for $38, which gives us a price per ounce of $56.72, which is right in the middle of this lineup. I just smacked my knee into this table. So if the chart shifted, just know that's what happened, which makes sense because we're halfway through, so we needed an intermission for me to go scream into the void. Anyway, we are moving on to number 5. So in 5th place, we have the Patrick Ta Major Sculpt Cream Contour and Powder Bronzer Duo. This retails for $38, but the bronzer part is only 0.24 ounces. And based on the overall calculation of all the product that is included, because that only seemed fair, we end up with $67.86 per ounce, which is actually a better price point than I expected, and you're getting 2 products here, so maybe that price point may be worth it to you. All right, now we're down to the final 4, and in 4th place we have one that I knew was gonna be higher up the list because it is pricey and it doesn't contain a lot of product. That is the Danessa Myricks Beauty Balm Contour. This retails for $26, which is not a bad price point, but it only contains 0.35 ounce of product, which means it's a whopping $74.29 per ounce, which is quite significant if you really consider the other products that we have already on the list. You would think this would be cheaper than the Chanel, but it ends up being more per ounce. All right, top 3. this one isn't a surprise to me. It might be a surprise to you guys, but we have the Milk Makeup Matte Cream Bronzer Stick in the mini size. Now, companies tend to get us with minis, right? You get a mini because it's cheaper and you think you're getting the same value for money as the full price. Not at all. In this case, you're getting a really poor value for money. You might be better off getting the full size, but if you just want to try the product out, it would make sense to get a mini. And if you want to make sure that you finish up a product, it would make sense to get less. You're paying less, you're getting less value for money, but it's more likely that you'll go through the product. So this one retails for $18, which is more than half the price of the full size, and it only contains 0.24 ounce. So we're looking at a quarter the size of the full size, and that comes out to $75 per ounce, which is quite pricey. Compared against the full size, you're paying $30 per ounce. So that is quite a jump, but again, it may benefit you to try out a mini. I actually expected this, as minis tend to be really overpriced for the amount of product you're getting. All right, now we are down to the top two. Drum roll, please. The second runner-up for the most expensive cream bronzer in my collection per ounce goes to the Kaja Play Bento Cream Bronzer Powder Blush and Highlighter Sculpting Trios. Yes, these are very pricey, even though the price point for this trio is $25. So you're thinking, oh, that's not a lot. It's not in the grand scheme of things, but the bronzer is only 0.12 ounce. And even calculating the per ounce with all the products included, so I included the sizing of the blush and the highlighter, it still comes out to $75.76 per ounce. So it's quite steep considering the amount of product you're getting. But again, maybe you want to make sure you go through this product, and it is in a compact form rather than in a pot form, so it will dry out on you faster. So maybe you don't want to have tons of product to go through, plus you get a highlighter and a blush included, so maybe that $25 price point isn't that bad, even though you're not getting tons and tons of product. So that means in first place, the most expensive cream bronzer on our list is from our good sis Rihanna. This is the Fenty Beauty Cheeks Out Freestyle Cream Bronzer. And you're probably like, really? What is going on? So this retails for $32, but there is only 0.22 ounce of product in this compact. That gives us a whopping $145.45 per ounce, which is just crazy to me that that product costs so much per ounce, and it is actually my least favorite of all the cream bronzers. All right, the moment you have all been waiting for. Let's go ahead and rank these based on my most favorite to my absolute least favorite, and I'm sure you guys can probably guess a few of these, so let's go ahead and jump right into that. So I wonder how many of you know me well enough to be able to guess this ranking. We're about to find out. So we're gonna start out with my least favorite and work our way up. And unfortunately, my least favorite is one that I already gave away. You guys can probably already guess. It's from our good sis Rihanna. It is the Fenty Beauty Cheeks Out Freestyle Cream Bronzer. And I don't like this product one bit. And it's not about the shade range, it's not about the packaging, because those two things I think hit it out the park. Love the packaging, like who doesn't love a rose gold? But the price point per ounce, absolutely not. And then the finish, oh no. This is the only cream bronzer that I have that has a shimmer sheen to it. I dislike that with a passion. I have oily skin, so I prefer a matte bronzer, and with this one I don't just get a simple glow, right, just a dewy look. No, this one has shimmer in it, like actual shimmer. It's not sparkly, it's not glitter, but you can definitely see the shimmer in this product when you apply it to the skin, and I start shining like a diamond, and I'm not really interested in that given how oily my skin is, and I already do that on my own. Like, I get greasy quick, so I don't need to add to that. So that's why our good sis is in the 11th position. So we're gonna move on from that because we're not gonna bash Fenty, because Fenty's doing all right by me, and I'm hoping they release this formulation in a matte version because I'd be all over it because I love their shade range. But yeah, the pricing needs to be worked on as well because you don't get that much product for the price. Anyway, moving on to number 10. In 10th place, we have the Milk Makeup Matte Cream Bronzer. Alright, here's the thing. I like the formulation of this enough, like the finish is pretty nice, but there are only 2 shades, and the 2 shades that they have aren't even that different from each other, and they're definitely not gonna work for deeper, richer skin. They barely work for me, so I don't know where they're going with that. But the real downside of this product is the smell. It smells awful, and I can usually tolerate like an unpleasant smell in my makeup. Like, I can deal, right? But this smells so bad. It smells like rancid Play-Doh. It doesn't even just smell like crayons. It smells rancid, and I hate that about this product. And I've swapped it out a couple of times, like, oh, maybe I got a bad one. Maybe it's expired. I don't know, but no, Every one that I've gotten smells like this. From the minis to the full size, they smell awful, and there is no way this is gonna be any further up than number 10. Number 9 may come as a surprise to you guys because it was a surprise to me. I thought I was gonna love this product. I was like, oh, let's do it because this brand usually does well. This is NARS, their cream bronzer, which is kind of elusive too because you can't find it anywhere. It's out of stock on Sephora. I think they even took it off the website altogether, but it's now available on the NARS website and at Macy's, so you may be able to get your hands on it. But I don't recommend it. I don't like it. Oh my god. So the price per ounce is great. I love the packaging. I think it's perfect. I love the screw top jar packaging for cream bronzers because I think it helps to keep the product airtight, so it's not going to dry out quickly, and you're able to fit a nice size brush in there to pick up the bronzer. But here's the thing about this product, the shades. Oh my god. They are horrific. So there are only 2 shades available. I have both. Laguna is my skin tone. It doesn't really show up on my skin beyond being gray, and that is the problem with both these shades. They're very gray. I did not expect these 2 shades to be as gray toned as they are. They're very neutral. I expected them to be warm and golden and awesome. Nope, absolutely not. These are definitely more on the cool tone, neutral side, which works for a contour, but that's not what I bought these for. I bought these to be a bronzer, like to give me that sun-kissed look, and absolutely not. These are taking me to the grave, and I'm not interested in that. So I'm very disappointed in NARS because NARS tends to do a good shade range. They tend to get complexion products right, and this time around, they just flop. So you can probably just avoid the NARS bronzer altogether. Alright, now in 8th place, we have the Kaja Play Bento Cream Bronzer. Alright, so this product is kind of so-so. I like it enough, and I like the highlighter and blush colors that come with the 2 that I picked up. They're actually really beautiful on the skin, but we're talking about the cream bronzer. So there are only 3 shades available, and of the 3 shades that are available, none of them work for me. I picked up the 2 deeper shades because I'm like, surely one of them must work. No, not really. It's almost like I have to mix the 2 to get my perfect shade, which I'm not going to do, right? And although I can make the deeper shade work for me and the medium shade I can use it as a contour shade, it's just not worth it to me. And then the finish is where I really gave up on this product. And it's not that it's shimmery at all. It's not like the Fenty bronzer, but it leaves behind a glow and a dew on the skin that doesn't dry down at all. And I have oily skin, so I prefer a matte bronzer like I mentioned before, and this one doesn't set down. It's not a natural matte, it's not a satin matte, it is not a skin tone matte, it just doesn't dry down. It stays kind of tacky, and I don't like that. So unless you set this down, it's just gonna stay tacky on your face, and I don't like that feeling. So that's why that's number 8. Now, keeping along the same vein, Patrick Ta comes in at number 7. Same kind of setup here. 3 shades, the 2 deepest shades. There's no perfect match for me. That's fine. I can still like blend out and share out the product to make it work. So, I mean, it works better for me than the Kaja one because it's more of a natural matte finish. It dries down. Maybe even a satin matte finish. I wouldn't say a full-on natural matte because there is a little bit, just a little bit of glow to it, but it's not a strong glow, and it sets down enough. But with Patrick Ta, his products are meant to be layered with powder, so it actually works well with a powder. I don't have to worry about it getting cakey. So I like it in that way, and I really do like the bronzing powder that comes with it. So if I wanted to add glow anywhere, I can add that, And with the medium shade that I got, I can actually use that as a subtle highlighter on my skin. So I like that, and I like the Patrick Ta formulation of their creams and powders. So I'll put it in 7th position, but I still don't think it deserves to be any higher on the list. Number 6, unfortunately, is gonna go to our good sis, Danessa Myricks. This is her Power Bronzer Cream Bronzer. It's cute, okay? 3 shades again that are available. The medium shade is my skin tone, doesn't do a damn thing for me. And then the dark shade, which is the one I have now, is just way too rich. Oh my god. It's almost pigmented to a fault because I'm limited to the usage I can get out of it because I can only use it really on my hairline. But I think it is perfect for deeper, richer skin tones. The formulation is really nice. It dries down to like a natural matte finish. Really love the texture of this. I think this product could really be a hit if Danessa expanded the range because I low-key want to get another shade of this that would work for me. I can't use the medium shade, so I'm kind of stuck out there with nothing, but I do like the formulation. Number 5 is going to the Saie Cream Bronzer. This is a newer one in my collection. It is newer on the market, and low-key I expected to hate this product because so many people have been ragging on the products from this line. No one has anything good to say, and I'm like, wait, because this bronzer is okay. It's okay, and I like the shade range that they have. It's not an extensive shade range, but I feel like the 4 shades go pretty deep. So I got the medium bronze shade and the deep bronze, and the deep bronze actually works well on my skin tone, but it is richer than my skin tone, so I feel like people darker than me can use this. Plus they have a dark bronze that goes even darker with a different undertone, and I feel like the shade range will suit a lot of skin tones because even the richer, deeper shades, like I said, I got the deep bronze, it can still work for me because the formulation is not too thick, it shares out, it's buildable. So I feel like if you're my complexion, you can blend this out, but if you're deeper, you can build it up to get the pigmentation. So I do like this product, and the finish is more of a satin to natural matte. It dries down, it doesn't budge, and it builds and blends out really easily. And I like the deep bronze shade because it has a little bit of red to it, so it gives you that sun-kissed look. I would prefer if it was more golden, but with some richer, deeper skin tones, like with my best friend, she looks amazing with a more red tone bronzer on her skin. It's so beautiful. So I think this is gonna be a hit on richer skin tones, and I do like it on my skin tone as well. It's just I have to be a little bit more careful, but it blends out so easily that I can definitely get that sun-kissed look. So that's why it's coming in at number 5. Now number 4 is gonna go to our e.l.f. Putty Bronzer, the newest one to my collection. And this one I think was well done from e.l.f. e.l.f. came out with 8 shades. It's $6 a pop, and they go really rich and deep. And I picked up 4 of the richer shades, but there's still 1 shade that's deeper that would suit deeper, richer skin tones. But the reason this bronzer isn't further up in the ranking is because of the formulation and the packaging. So the packaging, love the screw top jar type packaging for cream bronzers, already said that. But do you see how small the opening is? Yeah, it's very difficult to get a brush into that jar, especially with the size brushes you would use with a bronzer. So I don't appreciate that. So if they had made the packaging a little bit wider, it would have been ideal. And then I'm not 100% in love with the formulation. So this is a putty bronzer. So it uses the same or similar formulation as their putty primers or like their putty blushes, which doesn't really translate well as a bronzer or a cream bronzer because it shares out a lot, like a lot. This is the sheerest formula of all 11 products that I have here, which is not necessarily a bad thing because that works better for beginners, so they can just build up slowly and get a feel for the product. You know, it won't be overwhelming, it's not intimidating. But I feel like if you want to get rich color payoff, you're gonna have to build and build and build, and it takes a lot to get the product out first of all, right? And then you have to layer it up. It's a task and a half, which is the major drawback for this product. Even though I love the shade range, love the price point, and I think it works pretty decently once you get it layered up, and it blends nicely and it wears well on the skin with a nice natural matte finish. I just feel like the layering knocks it down quite a few notches because it could have been in the #1 position. So now I'm wondering which one of you guys can guess my top 3. Did you guess it yet? All right, let's go for it. So in third place, surprise, surprise, because I bashed this product, we have the Chanel Cream Bronzer. Okay, here's the thing. Here's the thing. I really like this formulation. I really, really do. I think this formulation is so smoothing, so blurring on the skin. It's excellent. And the shade that they added, the deeper shade, works on my skin tone. However, it's not gonna work if you're richer or deeper than me. So I am pissed off at Chanel for that. So let's get that out the way. I'm not condoning what Chanel is doing, but I'm ranking these just based on how they work for me, right? And this color is beautiful on my skin. It has enough neutral undertone to it so I can use it as a bronzer, but it's also warm enough that it works well as a bronzing product. So I really like that. But what I really love is the finish. It looks so natural on the skin. It's not dewy at all, but it's not too matte. It just looks really natural. And like I said, it has this blurring effect to it. So it's really beautiful. Applies well, blends out nicely. And I love the packaging for this. I think they knocked it out the park. And even the price point, even though it's one of the pricier ones in the lineup, you get a ton of product. And it's really long lasting. Like, you won't necessarily go through this product quickly, and it will last you for years because it won't go bad quickly. So I do like the product, but I hate the shade range. But I'm just ranking these again based on how they work for me. So moving on to number 2. Number 2 is going to go to our good sis Danessa. You guys saw this coming, right? Danessa Myricks. Oh my god. So remember, we said her power bronzer is not necessarily the best because of the shade range, but here I think she got it right. And this is not necessarily a cream bronzer product because it's a balm contour. That's what it's marketed as. But the shades allow you to use this as a cream bronzer because they're not too cool tone, which is why I'm like, how come NARS is selling a bronzer that's so gray, but Danessa is selling a contour that's more on the warm side? Like, come on, what's going on here? I love this cream contour bronzer situation. I really love the formulation. The only thing I don't absolutely love is that it doesn't dry completely matte. That's the only drawback. There is a little bit of glow to it, which I don't mind because it gives like a healthy look to the skin and it blends out effortlessly. It makes your skin look healthy and just kissed by the gods. And I love that about it, so I give it a little pass even though it's not my preferred finish. I think the finish looks absolutely beautiful on my skin, and it also works well with powder so I can set it down. It is so buildable, so blendable. It shears out so beginners can use it and not be afraid that it's going to be too intense. But if you're deeper skin tone and you need that pigmentation, it's there for you as well. I really do like it. The price point though, ooh child, could work on that, but that's fine. It's fine. You get less product, but you're gonna go through it faster, and you need to because the packaging is not the most ideal because it's in that compact kind of packaging, but it still works well. I like it. So Danessa gets number 2, which means number 1 goes to Soul Body. Yes, ColourPop came through with this cream bronzer. This is my absolute favorite cream bronzer of all time. I absolutely love their shade range. There are 7 shades available. There are deeper shades than the ones I have. And the 2 shades that I have work so well for me. There's no big jump between the shades. They both work well. They blend out well. The finish is beautiful. The smell is delicious. It has kind of that coconut daiquiri smell, which some people may not love, but I love that. And it works so well. Again, packaging, ideal, spot on. They killed it with the packaging. Loving this, just loving it. The shade range, the price point. Oh my god, I can't say enough good things about this Soul Body bronzer. And you've heard it from me before. I've said this before multiple times. I've used this product so much. It was in my yearly favorites for 2020, and it is definitely number 1, and it deserves that position. So if you're looking for a cream bronzer to try out, I'm definitely gonna point you to Soul Body. It's spot on, and you can get it on sale too. I think the last one I got was $11, so you can get it on sale. Again, great shade range, so if you're looking for one, go for the Soul Body one. But if you want to support a black-owned brand, go for Danessa Myricks because Danessa is out here, okay? She's doing the damn thing with her balm contour. And even though I hate to say it, Chanel, yes, I like your cream bronzer, okay? I hate to say it, but your formulation is spot on. I mean, the Soleil Tan de Chanel bronzer is a cult favorite for a reason. So expand your shade range and stop the nonsense. So there you have it. Those are all my bronzers ranked from least favorite to most favorite. Alright guys, so there you have it. Those are all my cream bronzers, all the ones that I have in my collection, all the ones that I have been testing out and trying out for you guys. And like I said in the introduction, there are going to be upcoming videos because now is the season to showcase bronzers, right? There are going to be upcoming videos for each of these different bronzers, at least the most intriguing ones, the most popular ones. I'm going to test them out and actually apply them to my skin, and we'll speak about formulation and what I think about each of the different formulations in their own video. So stay tuned for that. And if there are any bronzers that you specifically want to see first, let me know. I've already done a full video on the Chanel cream bronzer, so I'll link that down below so you can check that out. And then upcoming, I have the NARS bronzer. I also have the new Saie bronzer, and one that a lot of people are probably thinking about, the e.l.f. Putty bronzer. So those are the three that I've already done. If there are others that you want me to do, let me know in the comments down below. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, found it informative and helpful. Hopefully the swatches were helpful, and then my ranking also gave you an idea of the ones that I would recommend for you to try out. Let me know down below if you have any other questions, and I will leave links to all these bronzers and where you can pick them up. If there is an asterisk next to any of those links, that means that they are affiliate links, which means I will get a small sales commission if you make a purchase through those links. If you're not comfortable with that, just shop the way you normally shop. No muss, no fuss. I'm still happy you're here watching and supporting. But if you do shop through my links, thank you so much, because it does help me to put right back into the content. So I truly appreciate your support. And I will also leave links to my Instagram and Twitter where you can follow me along. And until my next video, which will be very soon, I'll talk to you. Bye guys!